Everything happens where everything happens. All the interactions and processes, including the subject, I, myself. What is the context in which everything happens? It is the present space, and this present space is conscious and aware. Just like the painting, inherently it's white canvas, but then we put the paint, and the paint then covers the white canvas. So we no longer see the white canvas. It's still there, but on top of it, there is the paint. Like the movie screen upon which the movie is projected. There are characters in the movie. There is the environment of the movie and interactions with other characters and objects in the movie. But all of it is a movie on the white screen. So, in the deepest sense of existence of the absolute, all of this is a projection. I'm not saying an illusion. Illusion is the lower component, which is distorted component. But even when you awaken, everything still exists. We're speaking now, we are in this meeting, so it's happening. But from the absolute perspective, from absolute existence, the self or God or Satchitananda, it knows that it is that. And what is projected, the creation, is inseparable, but it is a projection, a creation. And the creation itself, it cannot stain the absolute existence. Just like the movie shown on the screen cannot stain the screen. So the same way, today we will explore that in your deepest self, you are the conscious aware space, conscious aware openness. The space is very helpful because from a Buddhist point of view, Buddha named it as emptiness. Very helpful to the mind. To recognize that emptiness is inherent in all appearances. And one of the key Buddhist practices is to acknowledge the emptiness, to look more into the emptiness rather than in the objects here and now. So even if in the conscious mind state in which humanity is functioning, in the conscious mind state, there is emptiness. In the subconscious state, where you may have some light dreams, or when you meditate, you start noticing certain things, there too is emptiness. When you go deeper into meditation and you witness subtler appearances and energies and experiences, there too is emptiness. And this emptiness is not the void only, even the void is in that emptiness. The emptiness that Buddha referred is, we could say, openness, conscious openness, aware openness, boundless openness. But if he used the word openness, it would have been even more misunderstood. So emptiness is a good word because it assists the mind to start acknowledging the space in between everything that permeates everything. Every atom, every molecule, every quantum particle is permeated by this emptiness. This emptiness that Buddha spoke of is beyond perception. As he said, it is neither perception nor not perception. It is undifferentiated, unqualified, unborn. The conscious emptiness is the nature of God. If we look deeper into this conscious emptiness, we will see the immense bliss. We will realize that it is self-existent love. Thus, in our vocabulary, we have a word divine because it's pure, it's untouchable, always existent. It's already perfect. This conscious emptiness, it lacks nothing, yet it is everything. It needs nothing, yet everything is within it. It wants nothing, yet everything is created out of it. It is one and only, yet there are countless souls, life forms, and planes of existence. It contains all aware and all not self-aware beings. Humans are self-aware. Certain animals are more instinctual. They do not have self-awareness. They function with pure instinct. Any perceivable dimension, plane of existence, frequential range is within this aware conscious emptiness. And yet, in its true nature, it is not differentiated. Nothing is separated. Yet, it contains all possible separations, distinctions, differences, gradations, ranges. It includes innumerable depth as in deep. It includes unreachable height. The conscious aware emptiness includes furthest distances and also the most intimate closeness. In the story of gods, there was a competition. Who would go around the whole creation quicker? So one god with the power of speed, it went all around its dominion, its creation. And then he noticed that the other one, his brother, was sitting still. He didn't leave his spot. He said, I went quickly all around. Nobody could travel quicker than I did. And his brother said, I did. I didn't have to move a bit. So these are the games of gods, the plays of dualities. In the aware, open, conscious emptiness, there is the softest softness and the hardest hardness. There is gentleness, and there is also the greatest power. Here on earth, the greatest power is perceived to be thunder, lightning. for thousands of years until humans invented bombs, atomic bombs, and even the very greatest atomic bomb that would explode, it is nothing in comparison to a supernova in the cosmos. It releases millions of times more energy than the biggest hydrogen bomb was ever invented by humanity. And yet, the cinema screen is not touched by fires and explosions. The birth of galaxies is an enormous outpouring of energy. Forget about your nervous system. It cannot handle that. So the only work that we do with the nervous system is to adjust to this conscious openness. It is extremely unique that human beings have this ability to become God realized, to become a vessel for this great light. It is a great question how a supernova can be witnessed in your inner experience, and yet you don't burn, still here. How you can experience this great bliss, that great light that pours down and creates universes, and yet at the same time sitting in a fragile body. This body is so fragile that a little sharpness pierces the skin, a little tension creates pain. Such a fragile instrument. And yet it can experience and be part of the creation of universes. So in the conscious, aware emptiness is where you reside, where you have a notion of yourself, where you have an experience of your personal self. And yet, when you look deeper into conscious, aware emptiness, you are that. There's nothing closer to you than that. The intimacy falls away because even the intimacy is experienced within this conscious, aware emptiness. You have never been closer to yourself, no matter how deep you go. Long time ago, I tried to see how intimate I can be with myself. I explored all the energies. And what is the closest of the closest of the closest? And yet, the conscious emptiness is closer than anything else. And when you adjust to the conscious emptiness, you become okay to be vulnerable. You become okay to be naked because there's nothing to hide. There is nothing to protect. There are no secrets. There is nothing to cover up. There's also nothing to be comfortable with because the open emptiness is the true existence, your true self. And anything that you would feel shy of would be a covering that you feel vulnerable about, that you would want to keep it a secret or rather be comfortable in some other way is only a mental, subconscious, unconscious excuse, something that you hold onto, not yet ready to let go. And everyone has their own time of letting go. And final recognition that you are that open, conscious emptiness. Everything else is a play of duality, of creation. As Ramana said, to whom does the world appear? As Buddha said, it is neither what you can perceive nor what you do not perceive. In other words, it's neither that which is conscious nor that which is unconscious. It is neither the waking state, nor the dream state, nor a meditative state. Then we have the word superconscious. We like to invent words to help to differentiate. The superconscious emptiness is neither of a conscious mind, nor subconscious, nor unconscious. It is beyond all of them. But for the sake of easiness for you to experience it, I will call it conscious emptiness because you are conscious. If I call it the super conscious, then you start to make things up in your head. And then you start saying, oh, that's super. Maybe I'm not super. So it creates more distance for something which is so simple in a way, for something which is so much present, so close that it permeates a sense of closeness. See, I feel closeness, it already permeated it. It permeated the I, recognition, you recognizing the I, it permeates that already. And when you say, I know something, it already has permeated it. Or when you say, I don't know this, but it already has permeated not knowing as well. For in the first place, how would you know that you don't know? So this is how close and instant and direct this conscious openness, emptiness is. It is even closer than recognition, I am God, as Meher Baba differentiated it. The saints declare, I am God. But even that declaration or recognition or realization is also instantly already permeated. So thus he called it beyond God, beyond realization of God, since it already is, always has been, always will be. And to add on top of it, there is even a deeper layer where one sits into it and becomes deeply absorbed in the highest state of samadhi, which is beyond God in the beyond state. It is such a deep samadhi that not even a glimpse of creation is perceived. Then when one returns to awareness of creation, and then when one returns to the union or unity of creation or oneness with creation, and then one returns into the creation with experience of God. And one can go one step down into the perfect creation, but then God is already, let's say, further away or deeper, somewhere within. And then one descends into the creation, to the very furthest possible region where humans are in the top 3 or top 5 spot from the bottom. That's how deeply descended regular humans are. Depending on cosmology, in the top bottom 5 position. So does the ascent or the closeness into God on one hand is quite depth or height or degree to traverse, but on the other hand, it couldn't be ever closer than this.